Paws. I love them, and I sincerely hope you love them too, because this time, we're not just taking a look at one pair of paws. No, we're looking at two. Let me contextualize a little bit here. This top pair of paws here is the original pair of paws for this design. You see, I was browsing around eBay, and around the time I was working on one of my personas, a Wusky named Matt, who was designed to be a sort of sleepy character, because I think sleepy characters are cute. And when I saw these, I freaked out, because honestly, he's a sleepy character. A sleepy character with star and moon paw pads, can you think of something more perfect? So, of course, I had to pick them up, and they're nice. They were so nice, in fact, that these paws very quickly became an official aspect of his design. So let's talk about them. Now, when I say these paws are nice, I mean to say that they were nice. You see, long story short, these paws ended up having more than a few problems when it actually came down to fursuiting with them. And they weren't the maker's fault. They were just not really correctly sized for me. You see, the problem with these paws comes from the lining, or I guess nowadays, lack of lining, because as you can see, yeah, I kind of tried to remove it. These are made by Rossi Kitty Creations, by the way. You see, the problem with these paws is that they were a little bit too effective at what they intended to do. You see, the purpose of lining in fursuit paws, or really any fursuit part, is to keep skin from getting direct contact with the material, and this prevents sweat and oils and weird grossness from soaking directly into the material, thus ruining it. And these paws were really, really effective at that. However, they were a little too effective. You see, at this point in time, this was before I really knew when to take breaks. So this would lead to me suiting for far too long, and the paws just accumulating more and more sweat within the lining. Now, the lining obviously prevented the sweat from reaching the actual fur, but it meant that the lining was oversaturated, and due to the fact that the lining was already a little bit tight on me, as evident based off the fact that this paw fits on me pretty much perfectly, despite the fact that it has no lining in it whatsoever anymore, that meant that the paws were extremely difficult to get on and off, and this resulted in a lot of frustration. Now, me, not being aware of my own shortcomings when it came to fursuiting, I assumed that it was just a problem with the paws, so I removed the lining. And it was a bad idea. You see, removing the lining did some unintentional damage to the paws. First and foremost, it made the shape significantly stranger. If I can find any, I'll put some pictures up of how these paws looked originally, but yeah, they look a little weird now. Other problems, of course, including holes that apparently I've never fixed. What I'm saying is that removing the lining in this really ramshackled and poorly done way kind of ruined these. So I saw fit to commission a new pair. And here that new pair is. Now, you all recognize these. These paws were made by the lovely Obel Studios, and they were my previous Favorite Paws. They kind of got taken over by something else, Go check out this review. These paws are really nice, and honestly, in my opinion, a massive improvement on these ones. They're big, fluffy, and just overall great. And to make matters even nicer, I was able to somehow source the same minky that was used on these pads, so they keep that same sleepy essence that I absolutely adore. Now, I've already talked a decent amount about these paws in my Liquid Sunshine review, so there's not really that much that can be said, other than pointing out the flaws. You see, these paws do have a couple of minor flaws that I did address lightly, the most obvious of which being the pads. As you can see here, the pads are really well done, but they have these weird divots in them that, honestly, I expected to just kind of work themselves out, but well, I've had these paws for practically a year at this point, and that's never happened. In addition to that, there were a couple of stray fur fibers that I had to trim, but like I said in my Liquid Sunshine video, those were really easy to take care of. Yeah, can you tell I'm making this in between projects? All in all, these paws are really, really nice, and I would 100% recommend commissioning Obel. These ones, however, are a bit interesting. You see, the thing is that I really like these paws, and without them, I never would have commissioned these lovely Obel Studios ones. However, I can't really recommend them due to my own personal issues with them. Now, of course, this is something that's going to be different for everyone. You know, if you have smaller hands, then yeah, go ahead. And considering the fact that these weren't custom made, of course they weren't going to fit as well as they could. However, I still can't find myself really recommending them for some reason. They're just a little generic, I guess. I'm not trying to throw shade at the maker, but they're just kind of your average puffy paws with nothing super special. Hell, they're not even really that puffy. They're more flat paws with a little bit of stuffing in them. Not even the pads were stuffed. I did that myself. However, the reason why I can't commit to just saying don't buy them is because of how much Rossi Kitty has gone through. Rossi Kitty has been scammed a lot, and she honestly doesn't deserve it. Her products are surprisingly nice, and even though I've been ragging on these a little bit and have been saying that I can't really fully recommend them, they're still really, really nice, and I would recommend them if I knew she still did fursuit making, which, as far as I know, she doesn't, simply because of how poorly she's been treated. I don't know what to think on these, because despite the fact that I do have my own personal issues with them, these issues are likely not widespread, and they're more just issues that I have. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you want a pair of paws like these, commission Rossi Kitty. It's worth it, they're really nice, but if you have big hands, probably not your best bet if I'm being honest. And of course, that does it from me. Thank you all so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And hey, if you do subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified every single time I post. Because I've got something interesting planned for next time. See you then. Bye-bye.